Graduation at Alabama became a national story with Nick Saban and Donald Trump, the GOAT, and the president in Tuscaloosa. We're going to get into that. 11 Bama players graduated. The number one player in the state of Alabama. You got to keep an eye on this guy. His name's Tank. He's from St. Paul's. And St. Paul's has had a few Bama guys over the years. Some really good players. And we're going to get into that as well. And talk about maybe some of the guys you expect to be starters on this team, like Ty Simpson moving forward. All that right here on Elephant in the Room. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. There's Jake Coker, and you know what that means. Hit the open. All right, there is the mayor of Mobile, Alabama, Mr. Bryant Coker himself. We call him Jake. Some of you guys call him Jacob. It's good to see you, my friend. I'm Mick Gillispie, just your average everyday host on this show. CoverCrimson.com. Thank you guys for being here and Roll Tide, like you said. What's up, man? I like the hat, the Tailgate Show hat.
Yeah.
Got some new ones coming your way too. Got that's not the Coker. By the way, the Coker's here now. Is that blue camouflage? It's too flashy for a guy like you. Gray and black.
This can be the Orange Beach Coker, but I like the bill on this one. It's more bent than It's got the perfect amount of bend in it.
Yeah, it looks good. I could
use I might could use a little more, but when you have a lot of bend, the hat's got to be perfect. I used to wear a trucker hat in Tuscaloosa all the time. A beautiful hat.
What was it?
Curvature. It had the elephant on the front, red with the elephant on the front, white back, and the bend was immaculate. It was like the perfect. Like I usually wear hats that are, if I can find them, that are bent more than this, but they don't fit my head perfectly. So it's got to be like the perfect mix of bend and fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that one back in the day did it.
Yeah, right. Richardson hats fit me great. These are Richardsons for the Tailgate Show, our number one game day radio show across the state of Alabama.
And I used to love those old school white hats with U of A on it.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. I had one of those too. Yeah.
Those were. When you talk about hats and logos, and I don't even remember what brand that was, but oh man, you talk about just the top of the hat game. That's it.
Boom, next level, man, next level. Well, I know we've already talked about the Mullet Toss, and I've got actually some footage from the Mullet Toss that we'll play on the show later on. It is what it is. Maybe one of the finest moments in your career.
That video is the best.
Let's just watch it. I'll just put it up here now. Look at you down there. I didn't make this, but somebody made it. And
my part of the video is not the best. It's Steve in the background and Baron Huber.
The funny thing is
There's two lines in that video that I will always laugh really hard at, and everybody's going to know what I'm talking about.
All right, let's play
as soon as you roll that beautiful mullet footage.
All right, let's go. Let's just do this. The Mullet Toss was awesome. I'm ready to go back and do it again, except this time not have a fish that blows up, because people can say what they want about me as an athlete, but if your fish explodes in your hand, there's not a lot you can do about it. Maybe we should just kind of play a little of it and pause it and talk about it, because
I know. Just go ahead and play it all the way through.
All right. There's blood in the water. How'd it go today?
Wasn't the best performance. I'm a little nervous now.
I
don't know what just happened.
We just had what was your throw?
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. I know we're doing this.
Look, what happened on the throw though? Did you just like get a little bit?
I don't know. I didn't have a grip on it like I did last year.
Yeah. See, when I'm about to go.
I'm gonna sack your ass before you get it.
Next up, one of our co-owners is Paul Register.
No, you're not.
I'm in that circle, buddy. It's gonna be a muddy pocket.
Line drive, right down the middle. Go get that fish.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, it's a fucking fish. Broke in half.
Go get it. Go say you're sorry. Go say you're sorry.
It broke in half.
Don't say you're sorry.
This is the agony of defeat. Did you guys ever watch was it ABC Sports?
Grayson, you're gonna
Yeah, like the guy on the skis. Like I'm coming down, everything's perfect. He didn't throw. I could have beat Coker with that throw today, and then my fish exploded.
Was that a straight up? Were you trying hard there, or was that a joke?
No, listen. I did everything you're supposed to do. I went deep in the box. I found one that was still kind of frozen. I broke the. You know what though? Congratulations to Coker. I mean, like he beat me today.
That wasn't his best.
Yeah, look, I'm not a spoil sport. Okay, I gave you your due. You know I could
go say you're sorry.
beat you.
Or were you really trying there? Or was that a joke?
How about the guts so I went to grab that fish and I had it in my hand and then and I was shooting, I was going to try to hit that flag that they have out there, like the flag that's way out there. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm focused on that flag. I'm just going to throw it as close and try to hit that flag. And I gripped that fish a little extra tight right before I flew it, and all the guts came out. If you watch that video, you guys can watch it on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. It's a short. They slow it down, and you can see scales and fish guts flying everywhere.
That was a well-made video. I'll give it to you. I thought you made that.
No, Connor did that. He did.
I love the Jaws background. The Jaws music in the background is great.
See, I don't know that it would have been as good if I beat you, because if I would have thrown that, if that fish wouldn't have exploded, I mean, how sad would that have been for you? Like I got disqualified, my fish didn't, I was DQ'd. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do like Ryan Williams and go grab another fish and do it again. I said, you know what? I'm DQ'd this year. And that's that. We'll
you got 300. You had 364 days to think about
it. That is such a fun event, though, man. God, it's so much fun.
Oh, it is legendary. It's a legendary event.
I had a great time. I wish we
could have been there. I wish all this was happening when Stabler was throwing out the first fish.
Can you imagine us with Snake on our show?
Oh my God!
Talk about grabbing the torch from somebody, dude. You talk about grabbing the torch. You grabbing the torch from Snake would have been a great torch to grab.
Iconic. I mean, the guy down there is a legend. For anybody anybody that watches this show that is not familiar with that Orange Beach area, I mean, my gosh, Snake was the man down. He was the mayor. He really was the mayor. I mean.
No doubt.
He may not have had an office, but that's how you addressed him.
Yeah. Everybody knows where his seat is at the main bar at the Floribama, and you and I need to talk about this probably off the air, but they want us to do a show on their radio station. And I mean, why not, man? Talk up your favorite Toby Keith songs and play them after the way that I saw you jamming out to some of that classic country.
Whoa. Not go too far there.
Hey, look, it's Kobe Keith, and we ended up at the Keg. You remember we were playing Charlie Daniels band.
Charlie Daniels band. Clint Black.
Yeah, we would be great DJs. Yeah. Coming up next, we're going to have a little bit of Toby Keith coming up for you guys on the Floribama Radio on iHeart. We'll be right back. You could do yacht rock. You and I would be good yacht rock too. I mean, we're diverse. We can go from from Toby Keith and country to, Michael
Phil
McDonald.
Collins and
Phil Collins.
we had somebody else off the wall the other night too. I can't remember who it was.
It was so much
James
fun.
Taylor? Was it James
yeah,
Taylor? We had a little bit of James Taylor going.
James Taylor, you can play that there. That entire Saturday was awesome. It was good. You talked about it. When are they going to drop your podcast with those guys?
I don't know. I'm sure they're still busy editing out some of my one-liners.
I love it. I loved it. They better not edit when you started calling Mbakwe out for the Lane Kiffin. Even Ryan Anderson was looking at you like, "Oh shit." And there's not much that guy hasn't seen. Oh, such a good time. So
yeah,
funny.
they weren't expecting that.
No. Oh well.
All right, what are our Alabama stories today?
Well, I want to start with this.
On?
Well, let's start with the graduation.
Oh yeah.
The fact that the president of the United States came to Alabama, and I know some of you guys hate him. Brett didn't like him at all. My best friend, the late great Brett Elmore. So I get it, man. Some of the people that are watching might be not huge fans of his, but the fact that the sitting president came to graduation, and then you got Nick Saban. I want to say we had Seal Award as ours. I swear that. It might have been my sister's, and if it was my sister's, I don't even know who talked at mine. But to have Nick Saban gave one of the greatest speeches at that graduation. I don't know if you saw it, but he was talking about the principles of success. And it's like, if you follow what this guy's saying, no wonder you guys won so much. No wonder your lives have been so affected positively by him. And then all of a sudden, here comes President Trump out at a graduation at Alabama. So it's honestly, it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Well, you think about, look, our whole locker room was full of great guys. I could not point to one guy that I didn't have a lot of trust and belief in and loved them. But there's some guys that do well in environments with a lot. I think most people do really well in environments with a lot of structure. And when you match that structure with a leader like Coach Saban, who gives you those speeches all the time and really lives the way he talks, none of that is an act. He got where he got because of the way he believes and his discipline and everything else. And, it provides you with a lot of guidance in years that, you need a lot of guidance, especially away from home and dealing with a lot of pressure and success and limelight. You see guys move on to the next level and get away from that and struggle a lot, but in those years where they had Coach Saban to lean on and the staff that he brought to Tuscaloosa, you see guys thrive. And so, one of the things that I talked about when I would talk to recruits, and I joke around about making the comment that, if you don't come here, another guy will, and we're still going to win. I joke around about that, but I was serious in saying that. I told two of this right before I left, and he was on campus. You look around at the structure that Coach Saban provides, and you hear him speak. None of that is an act. You're going to be taken care of while you're here. A lot is going to be demanded of you, but at the same time, with those demands, if you stay on the right page and buy in, then you're going to have the best career, I think, that you could possibly have. You're going to get as close to your ceiling as possible within this 4 to 5 year span. And, you look at the guys that got drafted. I think Coach Saban had more first-round draft picks than losses while at Alabama. So,
wow.
yeah, I mean, you think about that, and then the guys that have left and done well. I mean, we were with a guy, Baron Huber. I mean, like me, didn't have a storied NFL career, but he's doing very well after school because of you know the growth that took place for him while he was at Alabama. I mean, look, he came from a great family, but you come to Alabama and you get to be around that, you become a better person.
I'm with you, man. I mean, like I've heard the stories from a lot of you guys, and then listening to Coach Saban over the years, but then last night, kind of a more laid back Coach Saban now that he's in the media and he's not coaching football, but the lessons are there, and the lessons of success, and not sitting back and looking at the success, but just doing the things that you need to do every day to reach the goal that you're going to try to reach. I think that they're not lost on any of us, no matter whether we played football for him or not. Just being around success is something that I think it fosters success, and you see the way that it's done. So he did fantastic. And then listening to President Trump, some of it felt like a campaign speech, but then others of it was he started to kind of get into like his life and the success that he's had. And this guy's come to Alabama now 3 different times. He's been to 2 football games and now a commencement. I remember being in Northport and eating at McDonald's, and there was a plaque on the wall where President Reagan had stopped there and ate at McDonald's. It's a big deal when the president comes. And I mean, I wonder if there are any other SEC schools that have had a sitting president ever come and do a commencement. And I just thought it was really neat. I'm looking it up right now. Apparently, Denzel Washington is who spoke at my commencement. I think Celia Ward was at my sister's. He's an actor. Yeah, like an actor.
Say Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I know who Denzel Washington is. I was surprised to hear that. At Alabama.
Yeah. It's just pretty cool. I mean, look, it's been so long, man.
I went to. Yeah, I went to several. I've got 3 siblings that graduated from the Air Force Academy, so I went to. Let's see. I mean, I went to several. Let's see. Several of those graduations saw George Bush speak.
Wow. Which one?
Mark Milley.
George Bush. The first George Bush or the second?
W.
Okay.
The second one, George W. And then Mark Milley, who's he's been in a lot of headlines lately, or I say lately, over the last few years. And then I went to another one. I'm trying to remember who spoke at the other one I went to. But yeah, you talk about those Air Force graduations. It's pretty cool. They throw all the hats. You have somebody pretty reputable make a speech, and then they say, "Cadets, you are dismissed." They throw the hats up, and right when the hats go up in the air, the Thunderbirds fly right over.
Really?
And then they have a big air show with AC/DC playing, and it's awesome watching that. I'm not, you love somebody when you show up to their graduation, but the Air Force graduation is pretty awesome. I mean, it is a show.
Well, I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. I mean, graduating from the Air Force or any of the service academies is a big deal. I mean, you have to have don't you have to have a senator give you a recommendation even to get to go there, and then you to do all the stuff that you have to do to be a part of that. They're looking for the best of the best. My Uncle John was in the Air Force for somewhere around 50 years, and I get it, man. This is really cool. So, yeah, I'm trying to think back to my commencement, but just to hear Nick Saban talk, and then obviously the president, congratulations to those guys. 11 Bama players graduated and were part of the ceremony that were there, or at least they were invited to be there. But Jeremiah Alexander, a guy you might remember, Josh Cuevas, Jam Miller, who's still on the team, graduated, Graham Nicholson, the kicker, and Gino Vandermark, who's still on the team, amongst the 11 people that were graduating from Alabama. Did you graduated, right? Because you graduated Florida State to get out of there.
Yeah.
So did you do grad school?
Yeah. Well, back then when I was coming out, but I mean, back when I was, in there, you had to graduate in order to be eligible to transfer. So I had to graduate in 3 years from Florida State, just to be eligible to transfer and play my next year at Alabama. So, had to pack it in there right at the end. It was, online classes, just taking 20 hours my last couple semesters. So it was a lot. It was a different world back then. Couldn't just up and leave whenever you wanted to.
Yeah, right. You had to graduate. Did they know that you were trying to graduate or what?
I mean, let's see. I adjusted my hours when Jameis was named the starter. So, I mean, I'm sure Jimbo knew. Yes, Jimbo knew. After Jameis was named the starter, he knew.
Right.
And who knows? I mean, that was just something I had to do to make sure I covered myself. But, it was not something I was just making sure I was covered just in case I did have to leave. But I didn't tell anybody, and that was not something that was discussed at all until after that season was over with the coaches.
Yeah, it wasn't like that was the game plan, but it just kind of happened that way.
Yeah, I mean, my exit meeting with Jimbo was, we were joking around about it. He was like, I can't remember what he said. When I walked into his office, he's like, "So where you going?" It wasn't even like, "So are you planning on leaving or what?" He was just like, "Where you going?" And I think he beat me to Alabama. He's like,
he already knew.
He's like, "Yeah, yeah." He already knew. And this is like, I don't know, a few days after the national championship. As soon as we got back from Pasadena. So, I mean, everybody knows you just. Want to make sure you do everything professionally in the right way and everybody feels respected, as they should. It's not lost on me that Jimbo took a chance offering me after seeing me throw for 2 hours, and my life changed after that. I owe him a lot of appreciation for that.
Yeah. No, you still appreciate it.
Before he offered me, what's that?
I said we needed to have him on this podcast. What we need to do.
Yeah, Jimbo's great, man. He's kind of a weird exit from A&M. Obviously, everybody knows that story, I'm not,
Well, he's rich now.
Who's right, who's wrong, whatever. Yeah, I mean, and he can be tough on the field. There's no doubt about it. But he was always, especially when I was leaving, he was really nice to me. Really, really good to me.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like I was leaving Florida State and it was a dumpster fire. They were in pretty good shape. They were in pretty good shape, but he was always so good to me. And he let me work out, and of course, I was friends with the training staff and the strength and conditioning staff and all that. So it was all good. But, those guys really took care of me after my knee surgery and took care of me even after I was going to Alabama. And my teammates were still great to me. They were happy for me,
Yeah.
And they all knew it was coming too.
Might be time to invite him on.
Yeah.
Get him down to Fairhope. Get him in. That would be an in studio. That'd be fun.
He's no telling. Hey, right? There's no telling where he's at right now. He's I know he's not struggling with that buyout money.
No, yeah, he's not trying to make ends meet, as they say. Guys, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Planning on being there probably the end of May. I want to catch up with our friend Steve Azar, of course, the artist that sings that song, Me Till Monday. So come swing down, but you don't have to wait for us. Go and do it anytime. Sportsbook at Timeout Sports Lounge in Golden Moon Casino, table games and slots, some of the best slots in the entire South. When you talk about Golden Moon and Silver Star, some concerts coming up this summer, the water park, Geyser Falls. You got the Spa and Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta you can play, the Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses. Coker plays a lot of golf. You guys know that. But you have to admit, man, you spend millions of dollars out on the golf course, and for a guy that hits them as much as you know when you're at a good place. Okay, that's easy to say, right?
Yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah.
I know you played a little golf yesterday. Look, it's that time of year. The weather's here for some great golf. All right, final topic on today's show as we kind of get moving on here. The number one player in the state of Alabama is Anthony Tank Jones, and he goes to a school called St. Paul's in Mobile. Now, you're from Mobile. Have you ever heard of this place before?
Yep. I guess I'm starting to be the bag man for St. Paul's.
That's your high school. I know that. Look, this guy, when you hear Ham, the head coach, talk about this, what Tank can do, it's pretty incredible because Ham Barnett, the head coach, is like, look, the guy could play tight end and be the number one tight end. He's a top 20 player in the entire country right now. 5-star prospect. I think for Alabama, this is a guy that you want to keep those Alabama guys in there. And you were there on the podcast on Saturday. One of the coolest things was listening to Jalen Mbakwe and Ryan Williams and Dre Kirkpatrick talk about the pride that they had being from the state of Alabama, playing for the University of Alabama, and you get that.
It was funny listening to Dre talk about Gadsden as being the city of champions or the championship city? And I was like, hang on, what championships do y'all have? He's like, I don't know why. It's just that's what we're called. Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that I don't care who you are, and I told them that during the podcast. It was funny when Ryan Williams heard "Sweet Home Alabama" come on, and I don't know if that's going to be in the podcast or not, but it does mean something to you when you hear that and you're from Alabama. I mean, Tank's got to take that into account. I would think. I know it meant a lot to me, and even when I was at Florida State and you see Alabama playing or you hear some kind of song that reminds you of Alabama football, it's kind of tough to not think about what if, and that kind of ate at me a little bit, but luckily I was able to come back and play for my, live my dream at Alabama. So I think no matter if you leave and if you're a fan of Alabama and I guess Auburn, being from here and not going to one of those schools, I think it probably eats at every kid that goes out of state, and watching your hometown or home state school playing every Saturday.
Yeah. Well,
and that SEC too. I mean, when you grow up watching SEC football too, and just the culture of the SEC, and then you go out of the conference and you realize that, I mean, it is different. The SEC is different, and I can't remember what the slogan is they use on the SEC network, but it just means more. I mean, it does. You play in the SEC, no matter where you play. I'm trying to think of any stadium that wasn't sold out when we played there, and I think everybody in the Coach Saban era probably lined up to watch Alabama no matter who you were playing. I don't know if that was
right.
the same case, for other schools that may not have been as strong. But I just, there's so much love for football and sports, athletics in the SEC that you're just not going to find a more consistent atmosphere that's that intense in any other conference.
Right. Well, Jones is 6'4", 250. I'm sure he looks like a man amongst boys in 6A football, right? On three has him as the 19th overall prospect, the number three at his position. I guess could be edge or linebacker somewhere on the defense. And he's number one in the state, according to On Three. I don't know how 24/7 has him as number 2, but this guy's a machine. 84 solo tackles, 38 assist tackles, 18 tackles for loss. I mean, a monster.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time, it was like a few years ago, and it was before I got involved in this podcast with you, but I remember seeing him and at a St. Paul's game, and I was like, well, where's that guy going? You know what I mean? I had no idea who he was. I didn't, follow recruiting at all. And I remember the guy I was talking to was like, well, he's a freshman and he's going somewhere. He just doesn't know yet. I was like, oh my God, this kid's a freshman. I mean, it's just mind blowing watching him play.
Insane, man. These are the guys Bama has to get, though. They're working hard. They've got the blue chip thing figured out. I mean, they're still getting blue chip players, but you got to get the in-state guys, and they're working hard on that. I got to give them credit. But now it's time to basically, have the rubber meet the road and get some of these guys committed.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Tank, I mean, you got to get the right advice. I mean, these kids, they got to get the right advice. And again, I think when you prioritize the money over anything else is probably not the best for your long-term future. I mean, you got to be willing to bet on yourself a little bit and also, find something that's comfortable and fulfilling in terms of money that's going to take care of you for a little bit. But the money you make here in college, I mean, it's not going to set you up for the rest of your life. Well, I say that. I mean, Quinn Ewers was probably a little upset he left. I mean, I think.
Well, every case is different, though, man.
Yeah,
you're right. Like for the most part, but some of these guys should have stuck around. I don't know that it wouldn't have been a bad idea for Milroe to transfer somewhere and cash in on a bunch of money, but he's also going to get a chance to be the starting quarterback in Seattle.
Yeah,
I think his time at Alabama was done. And Quinn Ewers is a great example of that. Bad idea to go to the NFL. It's just his value wasn't there.
Yeah, but it kind of sucks. I mean, I guess he was kind of getting pushed out by Arch, and I think he loved Texas, loved playing for Texas, and probably couldn't imagine playing anywhere else. And that was the ultimate guiding factor in his decision. If he's not going to play at Texas, he's not going to play anywhere else. He loves Texas. See what happens in the NFL.
Yep. Hey guys, a couple things I want to tell you right here. Let me throw this up. Coker, you know this. Room 20, rowback.com, 20% off orders. If you use that code, maybe your wife has an email address, maybe your kid has an email address, but you can use that 20% off somewhere else. Take advantage of it because it's great. And the rowback gear is awesome. Every time I wear it, people comment on it, I'll forget that I've got it on, and then people be like, hey, what do you think of that? I think the clothes are really comfortable, and they look great. Love the hoodies. The polos are great. Cool styles.
That's my favorite. Those long sleeves and the collared shirts. It's that bamboo stuff, Yeah. That's my favorite thing to wear.
Yeah. Fantastic. So take advantage of that. And then finally, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Thank you guys for being a part of it. We're going to be there soon with the show. So just stay tuned. But coming up real soon in May this month, we'll be there over in Philadelphia. So hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours and change from Birmingham. the Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing 18-hole golf courses. I might have to do a little golf with you out there. Get there and do a little golf. I know you love golf. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
Hey, I might get an afternoon round in when we go up there this month.
Do it. I'm great at driving the cart and making jokes.
Yeah, that's right.
And drinking beer. Anyway, table games and slots, Silver Star, Golden Moon Casino, of the sports book as well. But thank you guys for hanging out, and roll tide.
Cool.